You're the messenger of the Stag Father. If she's right for once, well, that'd be a first. You're a little late, by the... Can't you see? I won't speak of it further. Not... See this? One of those bodies belonged... He fought bravely, to the very end. May the ancestors grant him a place. It's a damn shame his god failed him. You just had to be stubborn, didn't... Hey, no point wasting breath. What's done is done. Perhaps that's for the best. The last thing we need is another self-proclaimed prop. I'm Barlam, the chieftain. Welcome to the Svine lands, for the tribe that's just ceased to exist. Let me guess. He wants to call the moot. He's been trying for years, and every time I've... Not because I want to. I know the moot is sacred law. But above that law is my duty, and as you can see, I've failed. Not having a tribe is what's holding me back. Can you turn back time? Bring my people back to life? I don't know you. And if Gerfan thinks I'll trust someone from outside the tribes on his word alone, he's showing weak. But I do have a solution. Find Kjell. If she vouches for you, I'll honor the voice of the tribe's request. She should be nearby. She'll have a task for you, something to prove you... Once that's done, meet me here.
What do you want? Well then, the two of you aren't talking. I don't know you, and I'm not vouching for... Wait, hold on. One of our hunters went to the cave nearby, and hasn't... With everything that happened here, I forgot all about him, and don't come back. What? You went to the bottomless cave, and you made it out alive? That's impossible! It would have torn you apart in an instant. Yeah, I wanted to get rid of you. We don't need outsiders here. Definitely not now. But you've proven you have what matters most to the Svine. Strength of spirit and the will to survive. Go talk to Barlam, our chieftain. I can't tell you more than that. What, you want a tour now? Want me to introduce you to every corpse? Even the dead wouldn't bother talking to outsiders. Much livelier. There was more noise. He's been in charge for as long as I can remember, but turns out he was too lenient with some of us. Yeah. I shoot strangers. Besides that, I hunt. Best in the village. But you'd best be...
Kill you, maybe. But the fact that you're still breathing only proves your strength. You survived Kjell's trial, which means you've proven yourself. The Stag Father happened. They claim that when he arrived, he would devour everyone, then choose his own and grant them their rightful place in the afterlife. And that's how the story of the Svine tribe He is our most important god, the one we worshipped in the homelands. He watched over us, but, as it often happens, some in the first group decided that the rest were unworthy of the faithful John. One of ours. He accepted the god into his body and is trying to keep him contained. But we don't have much time before the stag. And trust me, mixing the old gods with the weirdness thickening, and we have to act quickly. Out of the question. If we don't deal with the Stagfather, what happened here will happen to the rest of... And the only thing that's happened so far is you proving you don't... Now, I need someone willing to help the Sva... Well, that's a good question. Because I have no idea. Guderi won't be able to hold on much longer. And when he gives up, go find Glirna. She must know something. She's the shamaness serving the damn thing. We may not like each other, but I know Glirna isn't a fanatic. She owes as much to her own tribe as she does to the Stagfather. Glirna is our old soothsayer. Very old. When I was a kid, that hag was old. Her fate has tangled our paths. And we have no... If you need to get ready, go see Hjarn. He'll help you with your... There's still the cook, Sagar. You could talk to him too. I'm sure their previous owners... A miracle worker more... Uh-huh. And what's wrong with him? Why is he so eager to work here instead of... Ah, so he's some kind of druid, huh? We could have... Ah, fine. Why not? I'm not after we face the death. Not when my people are bleeding out in front of me. Get him here. But if he does anything I don't like, I'll put his head on a pike. Right next to yours. Glirna is our old...
Yes, in the homelands. I thought we could leave him there, but he escaped to Avalon. He took on human form, or rather he used one of his. It was only when he sensed that Nimue, Merlin's apprentice, had discovered his true nature that he revealed his real form. The beast grew to the size of a mountain, striding toward the temple his followers had... I dread to think what would have happened if we barely managed to bring him down, and clearly, not completely. I outlawed the Stagfather's cult, but I see that 6 centuries later, it's still around, and surprisingly, among the Dalrita as well.
forest whispered. The fire screamed. The bones agreed. The horned god told me, before hatred blinded him. He said your paths would cross, that you would bring redemption. In my dreams, I hear the crack of the horned god, cursed with pain and blood, tears at the bonds I used to bind him. Soon, he will break free, and then we shall pay for. It's the horned god's domain, a place where time does not flow. Once, it was lush and alive, where the hunt was sacred. I doubt it still is. Yes, Gudri, who took the horned god's fury into... He reached for blood and bone, and let me turn his body and soul. I sealed it with wards, like a cage of thorns. But the god's wrath will tear through them, sooner or later. And when that happens, there'll be no saving us. If you want to bind a god, you don't choose the method. You use everything. Old songs stolen from the dead, runes slick with black blood, teeth and claws. The horned god in his hate-twisted form was a nightmare that came to devour us all. The finest warriors of the spine, the pride of our my disciples. After the Gunvalda massacre, I and the others who served the horned god could not bear the shame. The most devout called upon the old powers, out of grief, out of rage, but without reverence or... And he did. Not as a guardian. I didn't think they'd reach so deep into the dark. By the time they opened a door. He captured it will long. It's hidden. Each one is guarded by a servant of once all three fall. The fourth shrine, hidden and forgotten, will reveal itself. The first trophy. No, I saw you. Go, but be... Follow.
don't mind silence. The god I worshipped, or the abomination that massacred our because the god I always felt was the one waiting with me in the woods, sitting in silence, watching me honor the hunt. That thing that attacked us, it didn't hunt, it felt. So, it was one of the stag. Slaughtering most of our village wasn't enough. He had to butcher the animal. Scum. I'll toss his head out to rot. Let the worms feed on it. At least he'll... Here. You've done a good thing. Watch where you step.
I knew you'd succeed. There's no time left. The horned god is tearing Gudri's body apart, and his fury fills. I must begin the ritual. But I fear he may be too blinded by... Your path leads to the unrealm of the hut. If you can weaken him, if you can break through the frenzy even for a moment, then the first trophy... Oh, child, we both know you're not entirely human. Your second soul will guide you where other... I understand. He's the chief. Whatever is going through your mind right now, if you need to prepare, go. But remember, you're not going there to bring death to the horned god. That's when the trophy will speak, and I will close. Take care.
By what right do you tread in my realm, blasphemer? Who dare stand before me and... I heard the call. I answered it, as I have done for centuries. And the moment I stepped beyond my realm, the weirdness consumed me. The hunt that began then was unlike the hunts I behold through the eyes of my followers. I was the hunter. They and I felt in that moment as if it had only those who summoned me were hidden from Glirna. She has long been attuned to my call. When I answered the summons and the weirdness took hold, our bond was severed. Glirna must have sensed it. That rage I felt, the moment the sacrifice was taken, I knew it had not been done. If Glirna knows how to restore our connect, then do what... Sacred law to summon me only in the light of day. If any follower dares to call upon me by night, my wrath shall fall upon them. To you, mortal, I grant mercy. Go now and carry my decree.
The stag father. I felt our bond rekindle. His power restored to it. Thank you for understanding. Yes, his will is our. His wrath will fall upon those who dare, and he will hunt them by day. For by night, we will return to our roots. Once more, we will endure. For such is our fate. The world may fall. The weirdness may consume all. That is Barlam's will and decision. He tends to mortal. My calling is to restore. That is the greater mission. To remember. Good hunting. Go.
You didn't kill him? Then how do you know he... Bloody Glerners filled your head with all that talk. No spine without the Stagfather. Truth is, no one knows if he won't break free one day and finish what he started. And risk the Stagfather breaking free. If that's going to happen, I want to tell Gerfan I've got more pressing matters than his war. We'll rebuild, at least until I'll fail. We need to get rid of that damn thing once and for all. Even if it means the woods stay empty and the hunt runs dry. I won't let my people live in fear anymore. For too long my predecessors let that old witch... Gudry must die. And when he does, the Stagfather will show himself. That's when we'll strike and kill him. It's true. We pride ourselves on being the best hunters in the land. And at the root of that pride lies the horn. But if the old god failed us, we'll find ourselves a new one. At least those who feel. I'm not worried about the Svein identity. There are so few of us. Hard not to believe in something you... And now that I've seen what he's capable of, I know there's no place for him in Avalon. If we manage to rebuild the tribe, we'll do things differently. We might not be the greatest hunters anymore, but at least we... Besides, no one can take our skills away from us. Not on my own, of course. From what I understand, the fight has to take place in 2 realms. And I already know you can walk that. You'll kill the Stagfather in that realm. And my people and I will take care of whatever appears. We need to break free from this curse once and for all. Do this for me. It won't. We know too much already. I won't lie. Your fight will be the toughest. But you faced worse before. Let me know when you're ready. When it, I'll go. Beside, not from when it up.
By what right do you tread in my realm, blasphemer? Who dare? I am in the home. The Spain owe me obedience. It is they who gave me form through their faith. So tell me, will you strike down the strength of a tribe with your own hands? Or... I cannot refuse that, but know this. No god die with honor.
You killed him. You ripped the heart. You speak with Barlam's foolish tongue, thinking a god is something. The horned god was with us from the beginning. You don't understand what you...
made the right choice. Thanks to you, we can... Yes, I will. Even though only a few of us perhaps what awaits us now is death at Camelot's hand. If the Council of Elders... We no longer have a god to aid us in battle, or in our strife. But you know what? So be it. Better to die. It's time for the swine to reclaim their rightful place. And... Hard to say, but we'll decide together. I propose moving to the capital since it's nearly empty. We can hunt anywhere, and this place, it'll always remind... I believe it's time we stepped out of the shadows and tried to unite.
Step wrong and you'll be back.
Who goes there? Is it you, Fus? I'm Olaf, senior journeyman of the Stone Ward. I've never set foot beyond the Forlorn Swords, so my knowledge of the wider world is limited. So tell me, what brings you to us? If that's true, then you carry a great... Perhaps it's for the best that I won't live to see the day you decide to pass. The old stories about the one who claims the crown are grim, even among the Stone Wardens. The eldest brothers say that whoever dares claim the crown and steps through the gate, what kind of calamity? No one knows. I hope they're just old tales. But if not, I hope you return whole. Nothing happened. This is the process of the men you see here, frozen in time. I know our customs may seem strange to outsiders, but trust me, there's no greater honor for a it's no secret, so I'll tell you. Stone sleep is how we unite with the land we've... It's the highest honor. A chance to become one with the soil. We are the noblest of orders, forged from the strongest miners and smiths. Our history. We serve the land and its hidden treasures. We're born of the land. We've never accepted anyone who isn't. That said, the world's changing. We used to say, don't take it personally if Darvan decides to make an exception for you. Of course she doesn't. She takes after her mother, But Fusca must understand. I know she loves me. She proves it every time she cares for this hardening body. Even as she opposed, but my mind is made up. You won't convince me otherwise. Let me guess. I can see her pain. But I've carried my own for long enough. This isn't just about tradition. I want the stones. If you take this from me, you take my... What are you doing?
Yes? So, you used the potion? You have no idea how grateful I am. We don't have much, but please, take my mother's necklace. It's a fine piece of Delry. Everything will be fine now. You'll see. Ah, it's you. He hasn't said a single word to me since... You've done more than enough already. Father remains silent and I can't make... Without words, there's no way to find a solution. And it's not your fault he won't speak. But...
So tell me.
How's it going? Think of...
Hope you'll...
What? Let me... Dolph, you deranged... I apologize. I knew Dolph had unconventional ideas, but this goes far beyond what I ever imagined. There's something... Thank you for bringing this to... Given how much you've helped us, I think it's time for... There's no point in explaining too much. Just know Heled embodies everything the Guild stands for. That's...
It's good to finally meet you. Alma and Tyrannus have sent me reports about... Thank you for dealing with the troublemakers in our guild. Though I wish your introduction to us had been under better circumstances. I'm surprised you've even heard of that term. The Druids have always been very thorough. Now that they're gone, I assumed that knowledge was lost. But yes, I am the head of the guild. Knowing what I might become, Dryads have always been a particular interest of mine. The curse couldn't have chosen better. Yes, a very old, very persistent one. Born of something abhorrent, I believe. It's carried and sustained across the land by the weirdness. I've spent most of my life researching its possible causes. And this is the only explanation that despite what some druids might have thought about the so-called feminine weaknesses that... The guild was founded long before I became a dryad. Trust me, I built this place, gathered like-minded people, and only then entered the ritual circle. Becoming bound to this place wasn't a problem. It was an opportunity. For further research, of course. I'm not sure how much you know about dryads, but we are as bound to a place. I perceive things differently now, in ways I never could when I was flesh and blood. My connection to nature is far deeper than any... We are surrounded by boundless energies, and I feel their currents flowing through every creature. It's made me realize how much there is still to discover, and how uniquely positioned I am. I know there is. But I'm curious. How did you come to know something that was little more than a Even so, I'm aware of the solution. But it goes against... I've decided I can do better. Well, my form might be surprising. After all, if you ask any druid, a dryad is a failure. But to me, it's a step in the right direction. You see, a dryad forms when a female druid is unable to complete her rite of passage. But this has always been a personal fascination of mine, so I was fairly certain, yes. This curse, for I do believe it's an ancient curse on the land, is nearly... There have been rare cases where a Ban Druid was born instead of a dryad, but those are exceptions. It's better to prepare for the most likely outcome than gamble on the rarest one. I decided not to see being bound to this place as a burden, but as an... It's not that bad. You were unfortunate enough to witness us at our worst, that's true. But such cases are rare, and we deal with them swiftly. Our goal is noble, but it can sometimes attract questionable individuals. Extracting, some people take it to heart. Ah, I'm glad you asked. You've arrived. You see, the propaganda about druids using human sacrifices in their rituals was not entirely and the results were incredibly powerful. It allowed them to manipulate the weirdness in the force of creation, combined with the pure potential of the weirdness, but the cost was too great for anyone with even the most basic of... Yes, I don't believe in necessary evils. We desperately need a breakthrough in mastering the weirdness, but I vowed... Being what I am has given me a unique ability to... And what I uncovered is this. It is unique to us, and as I said, extremely potent. But it is... That means there must be a way to replace it with a more humane substitute. Why? It doesn't take anything away from your humanity. Your life force may drive you, but it doesn't compel you to... It's a spark that makes you who you are. But what you do with it is entirely your... I believe so. In fact, that's what... After all the trouble we've put you through as a new member, go on, take a look. And what do you think? We don't. Every component was obtained in strict accord. Using the power granted by my unique condition and the weirdness, I infused that life into the creature. And now, here it is. Our very own living construct. Don't be vulgar. Of course not. Necromancers don't create anything. They merely I didn't raise something that was once alive. That's the interesting part. It actually does. Not the details, though. It doesn't even have all the usual organs. Just a heart, a brain, lungs, and a liver. The liver was crucial for some reason. How so? Of course not. It only resembles. My skin is covered in bark, and I can exist bound only to one place. But that does. I was hoping for a little bit more enthusiasm. I've been considering conducting the ultimate test. I've discovered that a dryad can be free. Obviously, that was never an option. But now I have access to energy that should be equivalent. If it. The energy has to be released, yes. But it's not truly alive like you or me. So perhaps destroy is a better term. You have been vital in ensuring our guild runs smoothly once again. So... Oh, I could, of course. But wouldn't it be fitting for your... You've seen this guild at its lowest. But this is what we've been working toward. What I'm offering you... No, the chamber is ready for the ritual. It worked! I'm free! And the power core... I was right. All these years of searching have... No, of course not. It only means that it worked exactly as it was supposed to. You can stop worrying. This truly is the beginning of a new era. Not only for... Now, I welcome you to the guild as our newest, but I believe you have your own path to follow. Just be mindful, whatever decisions you make, do not forget what it means.
They were a young and ambitious guild, mostly centered around the Royal Academy. We were all strangers in a strange land, with everything still to be discovered. They were vital to our survival. I wasn't there when they began to change. It pains me to see that a once respected guild has been reduced to what? No, but there were female druids. Not many, though. Merlin had a few women apprenticing. My sister Morgaine also followed the druidic path, until she I don't recall the rite of passage ever having such tragic consequences. I always believed it was symbolic. Perhaps this land truly is.
And what do you think? We don't. Every using that's the not the. Don't be. I did. I've been obvious. The energy has to be released. You. How dare you? I don't use that. Don't tell me you look at that thing in the other room and see the girl Calum lured into his house, or the people Phaedros turned into weird beasts with fey magic. I haven't lied to anyone. I haven't abducted anyone. I created a new life, a life that is nothing but energy to be used. It doesn't feel, it doesn't think, it only exists, and its only purpose is to cease that existence. That's the only way it can leave a mark. Because I created it. Do you truly think I don't know what? That I held an entirely new life in my hands and was wrecked? I am. As sure as I can be that the creature is merely a shell holding vital energy. Why do you? Any animated skeleton, any undead was once human. If the tales are to be believed, Grindylows used to be children at some point. Do you fight as fervently for their right to live? Or do you slaughter them without mercy, without a thought for their lost humanity? Oh, so that's your determinant? Tell me, if the creature stepped down from it, would its perceived humanity suddenly lose all meaning? As entertaining as this is, I see no point in continuing the discussion. Will you end the creature? And here I thought you considered yourself a pacifist. Such hypocrisy.
Hope you'll find some...
And what do you think? Impressive, isn't it? That not the how of my I of the you've no. It worked. I'm free. And the power coursing through me, I was right. All these years of searching have finally... Now, I welcome you to the Guild as our... But I believe you have your own path to follow. Just be mindful that from now on, whatever decisions you make, do not forget...
They were a young and ambitious guild. We were all strangers in a strange land. I wasn't there when they began to change. It pains me to... No, but there were female druids. My sister Morgaine also followed the druidic path. Until she... I don't recall the rite of passage ever having such... Perhaps this land...
Yes? This pleases me greatly. The Svain are their skills will be invaluable in the war. Allow me, in return for your effort and intervention, to return this piece of armor to you. It will improve your chance. How did you manage to convince the Toy tribe? They've always kept to themselves. You've done the impossible, and I want to hear. Could it be that the Volker have uncovered the unbelievable? Of all the tribes, I thought the Volker would be take these pieces of the king's armor, once guarded by a gift. You have no idea how glad I am that the threat of Tryggve has the members of the Oak without them. So, allow me to offer you a gift in thanks for aiding their tribe. Go now.
Now you ask me, when it was your choices and actions that led to those consequences. You managed to unite all of the Dalrita. That is no small feat, especially considering they tend to fight each other when they have no one else to battle. Gerfana should be pleased.
Well...